Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, and on MikeJoyOnline.com. We are also live in all 16 regions of Ghana, including Radio Justice in Tamale, Radio Pando in Pando, and Data FM in Karaga. We are also live on X Spaces and on Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplast Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes, as well as water tank, the only water storage tank with a level indicator. Where Duraplast goes, water flows. Coming up, Greater Accra Regional Minister declares Ecomo circle uninhabitable after fire destroys makeshift structures and high-tension pylons, causing temporary power outages in Accra.
It's unfortunate that they are living here under their circumstance, but I've instructed that nobody should live here anymore, and we mean it. We don't want any third fire, and anybody who try to rebuild will arrest the person and send him to courts.
More as residents appeal for help to rebuild their lives. Also, 150 houses submerged as a bridge under construction on the Accra-Winneba Highway caved in, impeding the flow of vehicular traffic. But NADMO has a different reason for the situation.
For the part of the contractor, he is saying it's the road divert. The NADMO are also saying it's because the elevation wasn't done properly. That is why. That is what we are seeing now.
We are live on the grounds for the very latest. Also, Ghana Meteorological Agency warns of more rains accompanied by strong winds in the coming weeks. What up in sports?
Ghana face Mali in a must-win World Cup qualifier in Bamako later tonight.
And an Accra High Court set to rule on Ato Forcing Jakpa's application today, demanding an order of inquiry into the conduct of the Attorney General.
As expected by the Constitution, for her leadership to hold fidelity to the law. That is all. The evidence her ruling should be based on the evidence.
The court's decision will have consequences for the substantive case in which the minority leader, Dr. Kesa Latofosing, is standing trial for causing financial loss to the state. We are live in court for the very latest. And in our filth exhibition, Joy News gets results as major desilting of drains begins in Kumasi in the Ashanti region.
Also trying to make sure that at least we put these waste bins, the big ones as you see in a doom, we put them advantage points for people to put the waste.
Meanwhile, in the national capital, the regional minister is unhappy with the insanitary conditions.
We all know for some time a lot of people travel far and near, and they've made Accra so filthy. Guns, we are very neat people.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'll bring you details of these and more in this bulletin. There will be no more residency on this land. Now, that's the directive of the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Titus Glover, to settlers who occupied the Ecomo Circle area in the national capital. This comes after fire there yesterday engulfed their makeshift structures, marking the second blaze to destroy the area in just 2 years. They told our reporter Michael Ashali in this report they have lost all their source of livelihoods in the fire and are appealing to government and individuals for assistance to rebuild their lives.
Thomas was there when it all started.
They told me that one of girl was cooking inside the room, was using gas. Where he forget that he was cooking. It be that I hear from the girls.
These squatters are now homeless after the fire razed their makeshift stores.
I have a lot, my fridge, my things, and my money too.
Zara James is a Nigerian. She came to Ghana to make ends meet, but has lost it all to the inferno.
31 million.
What was that money to you?
It means a lot, but I don't have anything to say.
Dennis Anthony has called this place home for just 7 months, forced to settle here after enduring a significant setback in life.
I couldn't take any of my things. As you are looking at me right now, I don't even have anything to wear. It's only this my down that I'm wearing.
For nearly 4 hours and at least 5 fire tenders, personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service managed to bring the fire under control. For many of them, it's back to square one. After struggling to find shelter with their meager earnings, they have lost everything to the fire. They remain hopeful and are pleading for help.
But we are praying, hoping government should help us.
As the smoke clears and the extent of their losses sink in, the immediate challenge for many is finding shelter under the looming rain clouds and securing their next meal. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
So in February 2022, fire destroyed this same area, after which the residents were asked to evacuate, but they did not adhere. After his visit to the area this morning, the regional minister, Titus Glover, was emphatic. Anyone who attempts to rebuild will be arrested.
This fire that gutted the place, if it affected any of the lines, were all gone. And I'm so sad that human beings are living under these pylons at the peril of their lives. It's unfortunate that they are living here under their circumstance, but I've instructed that nobody should live here anymore. Nobody, and we mean it, because as regional minister and the regional security council, it is our duty to protect every life and property. So a gentleman, he said, he's a chief around here, and I've told him that I'm pleading with him. We don't want these things to continue. We don't want any third fire. Therefore, they should prepare and leave. We'll make sure we put men on the ground to make sure nobody, and I mean nobody, lives here. I mean my words. And anybody who try to rebuild will arrest the person and send him to court.
Well, the Ghana National Fire Service says investigations have commenced to ascertain the cause of fire. The service is, however, not enthused that hydrants needed for the firefighting were covered. Listen to a member of the communications team of the service, ADO1 Alex Kenate, speak on the AM show on the Joy News channel.
Our appliances had to park at STC yard and then lay a hose over the wall to be able to get there. That's how bad the situation was. And even with replenishing, it was a challenge because I can bet you that we had fire hydrants there and people would have encroached on them. So then imagine fighting a fire here and moving all the way to GRE to go and replenish before you go back. So being in traffic, moving from there to come to GRE to replenish, being in traffic again, going back to the fire scene, and even with this place, you can't even get access through. So one thing in fire service, we always say perform magic. So because we always seem to execute our responsibilities always, people think we are okay, but we are not okay.
So let's get to the phone lines now and speak to Rejoice Semefakpesu, who has been monitoring developments there since morning. Emefa, tell us, we are told officials of Gridco are at the scene for inspection. Is there any significant damage you've been made aware of?
Yes, Hannah, we have some of these electric towers belonging to Gridco being affected by the fire incident yesterday. And we have some of their high-tension cables also falling off. So they've been here since morning assessing the level of damage.
And we are told that the fire was the reason for the power outages that were experienced in some parts of the national capital yesterday. What have they been telling you about this particular one?
Yeah, so that was the briefing I got from the manager of corporate communication at Gridco, Jifa Bampo. I have her here with me, so we'll go to her and hear from her. Hi, Jifa, you are live on Joy FM. Can you tell us the level of damage you've been able to access so far?
So we've had damage to our 161 kV transmission line from Achimota to Accra Central bulk supply point. 150 kilometer stretch of the transmission cable has been damaged. 150 meters has been damaged and has dropped. So the engineers are currently here. You can see them. They're about to climb the towers and begin the work to restore the cable and the transmission.
So some parts of Accra are currently experiencing service outage or they are in darkness. How long are they supposed to be in there?
We are hoping that by close of day today, light will be restored. We've been trying to move additional load from the Malam substation to serve the Accra Central bulk supply point, and then from there ECG redistribute. But we know that sometimes there are hitches in the transmission infrastructure. So we continue to work to restore the power. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience this has brought.
Now, I've seen that your men have started work on the towers. Are these work supposed to be completed today, or they will have additional days to work on it?
There is a saying that under promise so that you can over deliver. So for now, let's give them a couple of days to complete the work. But I'm hopeful that in not a too short a time, by tomorrow, they should be done. But it shouldn't affect further power supply later in the day, because alternative, transmission routes are being used.
Okay. So, Hannah, that is the manager for corporate communication at Gridco, Tifa Bampo speaking.
Now, Rejoice, you have been speaking to those who've been affected. How are they reacting to the news that they have to permanently vacate the area?
So some of them have raised concerns that they don't have alternative places that they will be using as homes. And yesterday they had to sleep in the open. One woman has been speaking to me. She had babies, twin babies, 1-year-old babies that she slept in the open without even a cover cloth. She was telling me her story, how they suffered, slept in the mosquitoes and all of that. So they are pleading with authorities to give them an alternative place to be lodged in for now. But as the regional minister said earlier, we are not going to allow anybody to raise structures here. But government doesn't have the resources to even give any permanent or alternative location for these residents.
You heard the Rejoice Semefa Pesu reporting live from Ecomo here at Circle in the national capital. We move to another unfortunate incident. The main Accra-Winneba highway has caved in, greatly impeding the flow of vehicular traffic after the Ayensu River on the Kaswa Cape Coast Highway. Commuters were stranded this morning after the strong flood waters from the Ayensu River created a big gully across the main highway. The diversion also caused the flooding of over 150 houses at the Gomwa Mampong area in the central region. But the local traditional authority is blaming the contractor for failing to undertake some rituals before the commencement of work. The reason for the flooding, Robert Hackman is the Gomwa East NADMO director. He spoke to my colleague, Sweetie Abuchi.
We are here with the Nananum and the chief priest, and currently we are waiting for their direction so that we can go back to the scene and pour libation.
But Mr. Hackman, this is a contractor who built a bridge, blocked the riverway because he wanted to build a more modern bridge. And you're saying that that's not the cause of this flood, but lack of libation? Help me make sense of it.
Yes, for the part of the contractor, he is saying it's the road divert. And African, our tradition belief. The Nananum are also saying it's because the libation wasn't done properly. That is why we are seeing. That is what we are seeing now.
The bridge caved in because it was built on the waterway.
No, the bridge that came in is an old bridge. The bridges here are two. We have the main Ayensu bridge and that of the smaller one. So the contractor diverted the main bridge into the smaller bridge.
Are you saying that pouring libation will help fix all of this that we are seeing right now? And not a strategic approach to...
For the contractor, he is saying it is the volume of the water that has created this. And the chief priest and the Nanu are also saying they have to pour libation. And let me give you one clear example. At Budubrum, we are blasting some stones over there. We did it 4 times. It didn't happen. The chief priest came, poured libation, and we done 3 times. And it's almost done.
So this is a spiritual matter, you're saying?
This is what the community is saying. This is what the chief priest is saying.
Thankfully, we have Mr. Hackman with us on the line. Thank you so much for your time on the Midday News. Tell us, has the libation been poured, sir?
Thank you for having me once again. Yes, the libation has been poured in the next, let's say, about 10-20 minutes ago. And as I said earlier, the water is now stable. The water, you cannot find any single water on the road. But for the damaged bridge, it is still there. So, yes, it is stable now, but you still cannot use the rest of the road. But for the water, it has gone down maybe a little over 30-40%. Yes.
And so would we say that anytime this happens, we have to pour libation or something else has to be done?
I cannot say that because the chief priest is saying we have 3 rivers here, and they put them together, so they were angry. So as for me, I'm ordinary person like as you are. I cannot say because of what they did. My worry is they've done that, and I think for now, human beings can easily go up and down on that state, but for the past, no. So let's wait for the best.
Whilst waiting for the best, we know that over 150 houses were affected. What's happening to those who were affected? And how about the vehicular flow now?
Yes, currently I'm here with my regional minister, and he has assured me by close of the day, mattresses, as usual of the normal thing that you do when there's a disaster, blankets, rice, and oil, and everything, they complete this. And so we have assured me that we should leave for the things to reach before I go. So I am here waiting for it. Where the victims have assured them that government should be in touch with me, and we will make sure they get something meaningful so that maybe this evening they cannot keep outside just like that.
Thank you very much, Robert Hackman. He is a Gomwa East NADMO director. In a related development, the Ghana Meteorological Agency is cautioning the public to be on high alert as its forecast suggests there will be increased rainfall and strong winds in the coming weeks, particularly in the northern zone. During the National Workshop on Flood and Drought Early Warning, organized by the Water Resources Commission in Accra, a senior meteorologist at the Public Weather Office, Joshua Asamoah, said the positive aspect behind the occurrence is that the strong winds accompanying the rains will help reduce the possibility of flooding in many localities. Let's hear from Rejoice Semefa Pesu.
The workshop was organized to share and improve the results of floods and drought simulation in the Volta Basin. Key amongst issues discussed is the early warning systems, which keep stakeholders to put in place measures to reduce the impact of flooding and drought in communities, especially those along the Volta Basin that experience sea level flood situations. It is against this backdrop that the Ghana Meteorological Agency is warning the public to exercise precaution, as there will be more rains accompanied by strong winds in the coming months. Joshua Asamoah is a senior meteorologist at the Public Weather Office.
During the start of the year, when even before the seasonal forecast was sent out, we communicated that the start of the season, the onset of the rainfall season, will be characterized by strong winds accompanied by the rainfall. The good thing is that, well, it has its positive and negative aspects. When the strong winds come along with the heavy rainfall, you have a lot of tree falling and all of that, and
Joshua Asamoah with the Public Weather Office, ending that report by Rejoice Semefa Pesu, which was read to you. Now, the Public Relations Officer of the National Disaster Management Organization, George AUC, says measures are being put in place to mitigate the expected effects.
We're prepared. We've had our men undergone training, watermanship and officers training for a quick response. Our search and rescue team operations have all prepare themselves to respond adequately, because Ghana Meteor has also been giving us the update on the forecast they're having. So we are well in the knowledge of how the situation is going to be this year, and we are ready to respond adequately and appropriately to it. Initially, we've been cautioning that people try as much as possible to stay away from places that there are a lot of trees. And they should pay heed to the weather forecast.
You heard the Public Relations Officer of NADMO, George AEC. Let's move to the Ashanti region. Despite the National Health Insurance Scheme's directive to cover renal services, some patients at the Komfo Teaching Hospital continue to bear the financial burden of their dialysis treatment. The NHIA, in its efforts to improve access to dialysis treatment, issued a directive to provide free renal services, including hemodialysis, to insured persons suffering from chronic kidney diseases. diseases. However, patients and hospital staff indicate that many individuals seeking these services at CAF are still being asked to make payments towards their treatment. My colleague Nana Boachi Yadom has been monitoring the situation and joins us live from CAF. What is the condition of some of the patients that you've been speaking to, Nana? Can you hear us, Nana? We'll bring you details when we get Nana on the phone lines. Let's move on. And the High Court hearing the criminal case against Minority Leader and former Deputy Finance Minister Dr. Kesa Latofosing is set to deliver 4 separate rulings today. This follows numerous applications filed by the first accused and third accused, Richard Dakpa. The applications are in order of inquiry into the conduct of the Attorney General following the allegations made by Richard Dakpa to the effect that the AG has been calling him at odd hours, an order of mistrial to terminate the case, a stay of proceedings until the application is determined, and a motion asking the court to strike out charges against the businessman. And we'll bring you details of this developing story in court with Latif Idris, who is there for Joy News. When we come back, we'll bring you sports and filth exhibition. Joy News gets result as major desilting of drains begins in Kumasi.
Also trying to make sure that at least we put these waste bins, the big ones that you see in Odame, we put them at vantage point for people to put the waste.
Meanwhile, in the national capital, the regional minister is unhappy with the insanitary conditions.
We all know for some time a lot of people travel far and near, and they've made Accra so filthy. Guns, we are very neat people.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
The regular football season is over. But not for us here at Supersport. We've got a big deal coming your way. Get connected to DSTV to see some of football's biggest names starring in all 51 matches of Euro 2024, live and in HD. Now that's a big deal.
Yeah, welcome back. Let's hear from the sports team.
Well, the Black Stars of Ghana will take on Mali in the third Group I game of the ongoing 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Ghana are 5th place and need to win tonight's encounter in Bamako, which kicks off at 7 p.m. Here's Black Stars coach Otuado.
It's a very important match today for us. We have to win. This will be the best to guarantee our chances to qualify for the World Cup. But we know it's going to be very, very tough. Mali has a very, very strong team. They showed recently in their games against Nigeria or Cote d'Ivoire how really good they are. They have a lot of young talents in their teams, and in the FIFA World Round list they are above us. So Mali is a great team. It's very, very difficult for us to beat them, but we have to try. They're 1 point above us, and we have a good team as well. In the FIFA World Round list they are above us, so this shows how good and competitive they are. They showed in the last game against Nigeria how good they are.
That's Black Stars coach Otuado.
Now, after months of being driven away by the stench of drains choked with filth at the Abuabo lorry station, traders and drivers heaved a sign of relief as Joy News Filth Exhibition got the KMA to start a major cleaning up of drains in the area. Clinton Yabwa provides a special report on the recent cleanup efforts by the KMA.
Residents and traders at the busy Abuabo Old Railway Lorry Station in Kumasi lived in a demeaning sanitation environment engulfed by filth from a major drain in the trading space. Indiscriminate disposal of solid waste into drains in the area left the environment drenched in stench and squalor. The collected filth came from households in Roman Hill, Ashdown and Abuabo. The Joy News team highlighted this situation in its flagship series, Filth Exhibition. Now traders, drivers and residents beam with joy as the reportage yields results. Officials of the KMA have begun a week-long cleanup. Traders, drivers and residents hope the new development will improve sanitary conditions, according to KMA Environmental Director Yao Ofori. These areas, along with other major areas in Odame, will be cleared in a week. He indicated the reportage and intensity of the situation fast-tracked the Assembly's response.
The sitting of gutter and drains is part of our work, and we've been doing it every day, every time, especially during the rainy season. Now, we had a report that your outfit took a picture of what actually happened at the Abuabo. Basically, it's not expected for you to even call it before we do that. We'll be doing it, and then when the picture was showing around the television and other areas, we just move quickly to start doing the work. We are still on it because looking at the nature of the drain, in fact, it's not easy for us. It's not easy task. It was my thinking that we'll finish maybe today, so that we'll start working on the one at the Odame, which is another area we don't want something to happen.
Coordinating Director of the KMA, Francis Jura Dako, says it is hard to identify the perpetrators, adding the Assembly is on its way to ensuring effective enforcement of environmental bylaws.
When you abate and you are arrested, you are put before the law court for the law to deal with you. Yeah. But just that you don't see these people dumping the waste into the drains. That's the only challenge. But like we said, we are also trying to make sure that at least we put these waste bins, the big ones that you see in Odame, yeah, we put them advantage points for people to put the waste.
Well, back in the national capital, the regional minister, Daniel Titus Glover, says that insanitary conditions in the capital is unacceptable. He was speaking at a ceremony to outdoor the former MP for Kpong Katamanso, Ni Lai Afute, as chief of the area.
We all know for some time a lot of people travel far and near, and they've made Accra so filthy. Guns, we are very neat people, but because a lot of people have been traveling into the region and for that matter, the Accra proper, they have created a lot of filth. This is creating a lot of inconveniences and sicknesses. We believe that we want to join forces with all the traditional councils in the region. Last week, Friday, we paid a courtesy call on NIGA and his council to partner us. From there, we'll be coming all the assemblies where there are traditional authorities so they can partner us so that together we can be able to clear this filth from our region.
Greater Accra Regional Minister Titus Glover there. Let's go back to the High Court where we are getting some new information, and Elton Brobe joins me with some details. What do we know?
Right, so we understand that the judge is still delivering her ruling on some application filed by the first accused, Dr. Kesela Toforsen, and of course the third accused, Richard Jakpa. They are demanding a mistrial and then an inquiry into the conduct of the Attorney General Godfred Odame. Now, what we are picking is that on the application for inquiry into the conduct of the AG, the judge says that there is no legal basis to allow inquiry into the conduct of a prosecutor. More will come because the judge is still reading her ruling on these applications before he will have more in subsequent bulletins.
And that was Elton Brobe. Let's go to Kumasi, where some residents have expressed mixed sentiments as speculations intensify on the possible selection of an Ashanti running mate for the new Patriotic Party's flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. While some individuals express excitement about the speculated choice, others are skeptical about the potential challenges that will come with such decisions. And from there, we move to M&J. What's trending?
Yeah. What?
Tell us.
No, for the third straight day, Kofi Gaps is trending.
Mr. Happiness.
He's still trending.
For how long is he going to
I think 3 days
know.
this whole week he's going to trend.
Yeah.
You know?
But another person who's trending is MC Baba.
Yes.
Well, they say disability is not inability. And rapper MC Baba from DR Congo is actually showing the way. He can't speak. He has speech impairment. He can't hear. And he raps.
Oh.
He's a rapper that has been trending in a lot
That's
of
amazing.
African countries.
Interesting.
Just hear a bit of him. Yeah, so that's MC Baba. You can check him out. He's trending on a lot of social media platforms.
Yeah, so this comment says that he sings better than all the SARTs except Nasty C. You know, people have started comparing him to most of the rappers that they know out there. But I think Black Stars is also trending. You know, they have a match today.
Yeah,
tonight.
at 7 p.m. Yeah. We play in Mali. Yeah, so go Black Stars.
Go Black Stars. Have you tweeted?
No,
Or X?
Kudos is there.
Later today.
Yeah.
As long as Kudos is there, we are ahead of something.
Let me ask Jackie something. He said in South Africa, but in Ghana, he raps better than who?
Hey, Maxwell.
Thank you so much for joining us for the Midday News live on Joy 99.7 FM, on Love 99.5 and 16 affiliates across the country. Living Word with Dr. Mensa Otabel comes up next. I am Hannah Odame.